It's been over 2 years since I first set up the Birdbath, and it's honestly been an amazing and rewarding experience. I've recorded a total of 36 species at the Birdbath, including 6 new ones this year. I have enjoyed watching the birds and wildlife at the Birdbath and surrounding rewilded areas and hope to continue it far into the future. January. As my last video on the Birdbath stated, a good part of January was marked by snow and cold. Though I did make multiple attempts to defrost the Birdbath, most were relatively short-lived. It was only in February did I manage to melt it. February. February felt like spring. The birds were singing, and the flowers, frogs, and insects awakening. The birds were finishing off the blue stem seeds near Birdbath too, and towards the end of the month, flowering plants provided great backgrounds for beautiful bird images. At the same time, I planted many spring plants around the Birdbath, including numerous snowdrops and daffodils. I upgraded the Birdbath to a pet container as my old Birdbath had too many holes in it due to wear and had no large enough replacement. Fortunately, the birds quickly took to their larger bathing area, and a little later, a pine warbler showed up, the first new bird of 2024. March. March was extremely similar to February, but with many more flowers, birds collecting nest materials, and other wildlife starting their spring routines. Close by, our neighborhood cardinal wren started nesting in a nest box we set up for them, and successfully raised 4 adorable fledglings. Meanwhile, our quiet chickadees excavated a dead tree limb, but later abandoned it. At the Birdbath, many birds stopped by to collect cotton balls that I offered in a nearby sweat cage. Wild plants I planted the previous year, such as these May apples, came back up. Towards the middle of the month, pink petals started to fall from the above magnolia tree, covering the area around the Birdbath in a beautiful pink carpet. Out of all the amazing videos I took of common backyard birds at the Birdbath in March, one stood out, a video of a rarely seen behavior. April. March had been rainy enough with frequent rains almost every week, but April is even wetter. The consistent rains made for great foliage around the Birdbath, with blooming wild violets and beautiful green foliage of ferns, hostas, wild strawberries, and daffodils. The storms also made for great migratory bird birding, with many warblers, vireos, and other migratory birds. Out of the few videos I got in April, one is extremely interesting, as it shows a male tufted mouse showing off to a female. May. May made for a great birding month as I photographed thrushes and flycatchers feeding on mulberries and even my first blackberry and warbler. For most of the month I was abroad, and even when I was present, the frequent rains made for very little bird activity. June. June was marked by the returning of recording at the Birdbath, as we recorded all the common summer backyard birds and our neighborhood rat snake and chickmuck. I enjoyed photographing many of the surrounding breeding birds and their fledglings with my camera as well. I noticed one of our female hummingbirds collecting dandelion fluff from my wild area, and so using my iPhones, I took this video. 2 other noteworthy videos are this one of our neighborhood quina wrens dust bathing and of a bridge-shouldered hawk eating a frog. Lastly, a summer Louisiana water thrush showed up in our neighborhood, just as it had last year. July. In July, I got my Birdify camera, allowing me to record many videos of our backyard birds. In one of the taller trees in our neighborhood, I noticed a Mississippi kite nesting, and after monitoring it from my backyard for a few weeks, one chick eventually fledged. Throughout the month, I photographed our summer backyard birds, getting images of them with their fledglings or surrounded by interesting backgrounds. Towards the end of the month, an early red-eyed vireo stopped by the yard, marking the beginning of a great fall. August. Late June and July had been hot and dry, but August was nothing in comparison. Birds flocked to the Birdbath to drink and bathe, as did snakes, squirrels, and chickmunks. With the lack of rain, raccoons and opossums became a problem at the bath, so I came up with the simple solution of covering it with the cage it had originally been with and removing it in the morning. Soon after this, the first new bird for the Birdbath showed up, a beautiful yellow-breasted chat. On August 22nd and August 30th, indigo bunting stopped by to refuel on foxtail seeds and drink from the Birdbath. Throughout August, funny-looking molting birds also stopped by. Another extremely interesting sighting was of a yellow-eyed vireo who I heard singing in the yard, another early migrant. September. In September, the rain started to return and migration picked up. One mystery flycatcher that visited my goldenrods turned out to be not one but two, a rare yellow-bellied flycatcher and the eastern wood-pewee. Shortly after this, a surprised scarlet tanager appeared for a day in the oaks and elms around the yard. And so every morning for the next 2 months, I birded in the yard, finding common beckett birds still came to the bath, but not as much as in the previous months. October. October is also a great birding month. Two lifer house wrens who visited within a few weeks of each other provided much entertainment. I photographed what appeared to be a cerulean warbler, but just turned out to be a weird Tennessee warbler. Around the same time, the poison ivy berries ripened as the Virginia creeper berries were depleted, providing food for both year-round birds and early winter arrivals. October was also when my native plants, such as goldenrods, bonsai's, and asters, stepped into full bloom, attracting insectivores. On October 14th, the first wave of winter migrants came in, also bringing in a blackberry warbler, the fourth new bird of the year, to bathe at my birdbath. Several times throughout the month, Nashville warblers, Tennessee warblers, common yellow-throats, song sparrows, eastern phoebes, and more stopped by to bathe and drink. One night in middle October, a possum got in the birdbath and then was carried away by its mom. Another interesting video was of a stray cat. Much of the later part of October and early November was rainy, so I recorded other things, such as our sweat feeder and a place near my wild area. November. In November, the regular backyard birds once again had priority, and the winter arrivals, kinglets, zero-rumped warblers, jingos, and white-throated sparrows started to become common visitors. Chipping sparrows started to feed on bluestem grasses, and the birds finished the poison ivy berries. The amount of birds also dramatically increased as the weather got colder. Lastly, a beautiful downy woodpecker became a frequent visitor to the bath, drinking water after knocking wood. December. December was much more active than November, with decreased amounts of rain and cooler temperatures. Sometimes I even recorded over 100 clips of the birdbath, more than I ever had, even on the most active days. The common backyard birds were the most frequent visitors, though a few warblers and kinglets often joined as well. The overall highlight for December was a video of a golden-crowned kinglet, the last new bird for the year, but a beautiful male purple finch made for great videos as well. Early January 2025. For a few weeks, January was much the same, with common winter birds and more ice. On Friday the 10th, the snow started falling, and the birdbath was once again covered in a layer of snow. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, and like.